Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith, and we're going to talk today about the possibility of war in Chicago and whether or not that could be the flashpoint that starts the ball rolling here in the United States. We will see about that. Couple of things. Oh, yes, by the way, no, I'll start with something else. Uh, just a reminder, first off, welcome to all the new people who have joined. It's great to have you. You'll find that this is a channel where we talk, even though we talk about negative things, we talk about them in positive ways. So this is not a boohoo, poor me, or downer, life is horrible type of channel. This is a channel that talks about preparedness from a standpoint of responsibility, accepting the responsibility for ourselves and for those who depend on us, and with a recognition that bad things can happen and challenges come up in life, and it's up to us to prepare for those, and we do that out of a proper sense of responsibility and a proper plan for preparedness. Okay, so speaking of that, I want to remind everybody we have the second annual gathering, Stonemont and Integrative Preparedness Gathering, coming up October 4th, 2025. I have to keep saying that year because if you're tuning in 2026, you already missed the 25, but I'm sure one will be coming up next year too. But this year it's October 4th, okay, in Olathe, Kansas, which is on the Kansas side of the Kansas City area. I'm down in the bunker today. It's raining outside, so I imagine that's, if you heard that siren, probably an ambulance going down for a car wreck somewhere. But yeah, I'm down in the bunker where it's nice and warm and dry. Uh, but it's going to be in Olathe, Kansas, which is on the Kansas side of the Kansas City area. It's a beautiful area. If you're coming in from out of town, make sure that you book your hotels in either Leawood, Overland Park, Olathe, or Lenexa, Kansas. Those are beautiful cities. Nice and I tell people, do not book someplace on the Missouri side. Somebody asks, what's wrong with Missouri? Well, there's nothing wrong with Missouri. I love Missouri. I'm from Missouri. But over here in this area, when you go into Missouri, you're going into Kansas City. And that's not a place you want to be, especially if you're from out of town. Okay? So we'd love to have you. Try to make it. I look forward to seeing everybody that I had a chance to meet last year and getting a chance to talk to them more this year and getting to know them a little bit better. And a chance to meet all you new folks who are coming this year. We have a lot of people who have already registered. If you're going to come, you need to register. It doesn't cost you anything. Stonemont is picking up the tab on everything, but we need to know how many are coming so we know how much stuff to get for you. You know, hamburgers and hot dogs and buns and relish and mustard and ketchup and barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce, because this is Kansas City. You can't come to Kansas City without barbecue sauce. So anyway, register by going to our website, stonemont.us. That link is down below. You'll see that there are several tabs on the page. One for shop, I think, where you can buy my books or mugs or whatever, and then one for books, and then one for events. Hit the events one. That'll take you to the page that tells you all the information that you need and allows you to register. So register. Tell us if you're bringing friends. Perfectly fine. Even if they don't watch the channel, they're a friend of yours, right? And you're a fine person, and you will enjoy it. We have exceptional people in our viewership and my readership of my books, and you're going to enjoy the people that you meet and have a chance to fellowship with during the day. You'll learn a lot. I learn a lot. We have some super sharp people. So that's it. Oh, if you want to order, this is the official mug for the gathering. If you want to order, it's a beautiful mug. You can do that through our shop. Okay, you order it through the shop, but you pick it up at the gathering because it's only for those people who come to the gathering. Okay, and fine people all. Speaking of fine people, I realize that I'm wearing my College of the Ozarks sweatshirt. Hard Work U. Y'all heard it? You familiar with this? Hard Work U? It is the best college in the world, in my opinion. Let me get you settled there. You see that? I've got things popping up on my screen. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, there we go. Best college in the world. Kids work there. They work a few hours a week on campus, and they graduate with no student debt. How about that? And Kelly and I have been supporting College of the Ozarks. It's down south of Branson, Missouri, for over 25 years, and it's a great, great place. Uh, check them out. You might want to make a donation to them. If you want to, go ahead. Look up College of the Ozarks. It's an amazing place. Okay, so uh, Trump is sending National Guard or troops to Chicago and to clean it up like they cleaned up Washington, D.C., right? I mean, they've done a heck of a job with Washington. Okay. Now, you all know that if you've listened to me for a little bit, I have mixed feelings on this. I don't like the federal government coming in to to do what local governments should be doing. But if the local governments are not doing what they should in order to provide as much safety for their citizens as they should, who's going to do it? Okay, we're going to have vigilante gangs, and some of these cities, including Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago, Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, all over. The cities are imploding because they're exploding. They have degraded to just cesspools. Okay, so Trump is will be sending people in there, and Chicago has responded by bringing out all their salt trucks and lining them up so they keep the federals out, and we got we got videos from, I don't know if they're gang leaders or whatever, saying Chicago's got 100,000 gangs and we got switches, which, of course means Glock switches, and we're not afraid of the National Guard, and bring it on. And of course, the governor and the worthless governor of Illinois, the worthless mayor of Chicago, that doesn't give a darn about their citizens. As a matter of fact, they enjoy the high crime because it gives them something to run on in the next election, and it gets them more federal money. Okay, the more crime, the more federal money they get to line their pockets and to pay off their buddies. Right? Let me take a sip here. Well, I don't remember when this is all supposed to happen, when the feds are supposed to arrive in Chicago, but Chicago says, and not Chicago, I mean, not everybody in Chicago. There are some great people in Chicago. There really are, just like there is in every city. I used to love going to Chicago. I went to Chicago a lot to bring prisoners back to Kansas City. Used to love going down on Rush Street and State Street, and and then what are they? Is it the Magic or the Miracle Mile there along? Had a great time back in the 70s and 80s. And then I went up there in the 90s for a bunch of MMA tournaments and things. Always loved going to Chicago. It's a great, vibrant, energetic city. But it has, as the result of Democrat leadership, Blagojevich was the last decent mayor they had up there. And they put him in prison. But it has collapsed into a cesspool to where decent people can't go out. We've seen the rise of crime across the country, and a lot of it, to be honest, is racial. I mentioned this once before. I talked about the racial dangers that are emerging in our country. And, I had a couple of people come on and say, well, not all, blacks think. Come on, man, I know that. Come on. Can I not say, for anybody who wants to come on here and say, well, it's not a black, white, well, when you see that deal with that guy who happened to be black, stabbed the Ukrainian girl in the neck and killed her on the train in Charlotte. Okay, black kills white. Then we had that situation where another guy, a black guy. I'm not going to avoid saying this. I'm going to tell the truth, because black hatred for whites seems to be, they're lighting another fuse, and it doesn't mean all blacks. And I know I have viewers who are black. Love you, man. You're great. I understand not all blacks are like that. Not all whites are like anything either. But I'm not going to avoid identifying what some of the problem is, and that's some of the problem, that we have an increasing amount of hatred among certain groups for whites, and that makes it dangerous for whites. And if you all who are listening to me don't realize that, your head's in the sand. Okay, and so I'm just going to tell the truth here. So this other a college professor, I think it was, a white woman out walking her dog, gets jumped and stabbed and killed by a black guy who had had numerous arrests. Okay, numerous, just like this other moron, this animal. I won't even call him a moron. That he's an animal that stabbed the girl in the train. He had been well, they had 14 different mug shots on him. There's no reason he should have been out. You know, the mayor or whoever it was of Charlotte said, well, he shouldn't have been on the train because we see he must have jumped the turnstile or whatever. He shouldn't have been on because he didn't have a valid boarding pass. They make it about the train. He shouldn't have been out of jail. He should be in prison. There's no the reason that girl was killed, the reason that this college professor was killed, is because of the almost evil system that we have that continues to put these animals back out on the street, endangering real citizens, okay? Endangering other citizens. Well, we see this played out, and that was just an aside, but it's happening more and more and more. And what we see happening in Chicago is a fight by a group of Chicago politicians and a lot of other people in Chicago. Leadership, government leadership, gang leadership, whatever. We see them getting ready to resist those people who are trying to enforce law, just simply enforce the law, and make that city safer for the good people of Chicago. And I don't mean all the people of Chicago. I don't mean the bad people. The bad people are victimizing the good people. We want to make it safe for the good people of Chicago. And that means throwing the animals in prison. And Chicago, the leadership, the mayor, the police, all that, I have no idea where the police chief stands in this, but Chicago police chiefs are usually pretty political. They're going to fight against it. You better not come to Chicago. We take care of our stuff in Chicago. And then we got these morons, these guys up there. We got switches. We got switches here. We're not scared of National Guard. Well, okay, I think the truth is about to come home to you, son. We will see. So we essentially have, just like Slick Newsom out there in California said, we're going to stand up against Trump. And we have all these city leaders. However, it's like the mayor of D.C., interestingly, thanked Trump. Hey, thank you. You came in and cleaned up my city, and now people can go on out to eat again. They're taking walks again. They're able to visit their capital in, at least greater safety than they could have before. There are people in Chicago, the normal people, black as well as white, so this isn't entirely a racial situation, are saying, yes, please come and solve this problem. Make our city safe for us. Okay, so here again, and I'm sure that many of you probably have the same conflicted attitude as I do about this. I don't like the fact of feds going in to take care of local problems, and this is a local problem. But what are you going to do? I made the comment the other day. I think we ought to just let the cities burn down. They are black holes. We should let them collapse on themselves, which means take away all the federal money, everything. If they're not going to do what they need to do, if they are not going to satisfy their most basic responsibilities to their citizens, why should the rest of us out here who don't live in these hellholes continue to have our money confiscated from us to send to these gangsters? Why? So as far as I'm sorry for the good people that still live in cities, but rise up and do something about it, or get out and let those cities collapse. I had somebody come on and make a kind of get on me the other day. Well, I can't get out of the city, and I shouldn't be blamed for not getting. I don't blame anybody. Do what you want. Do what you want, but we can't keep feeding the corruption in these big cities. Okay. I love cities. I love big cities. I grew up in Kansas City. I was a cop in Kansas City. I love cities. Okay. I'm not really, and a lot of people are, I love the country. Okay. I love both. There are good things about both. But but the cities are not meant to be the ghettos they have been allowed to become. And it can be fixed. It can be fixed with enforcement, proper enforcement of the law. Simple as that. Okay. So I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. But my caution here, my warning here is going to be. Um, oh, by the way, let me say something. Do you see those two beautiful lanterns behind me? Oh, I can't. There. See those two beautiful lanterns behind me there? Those were made for me by Hondo Bob, one of our top tier patrons over on the Patreon side. He sent those to me a couple of years ago, several years ago. He sent me a second pair, kind of for Christmas, that I use around Christmas time, not in my office, but up on our main mantles. They're just beautiful. And he is coming. I was talking about exceptional people earlier. He just messaged me yesterday and said he thought, and he's coming to the super bright guy. Here, I'll read you something that he sent me, and then I'll get back to Chicago and the war. Here's the kind of people we have over there on, I'm getting a frog in my throat, over on Patreon. He sent me this sometime back. Magnetism, material properties, and induction as they pertain to electromagnetic pulse and coronal mass ejection. You see that? This is the kind of people you can meet at the gathering. But anyway, Hondo messaged me yesterday and said, hey, if you don't mind, I think I'll bring a couple of radios and maybe a couple of lanterns like that to kind of give away in a raffle at the gathering, if you don't mind. I said, you got to be, if I don't mind? Wow, what an offer that is. Those are just beautiful. So guys, if you're coming to the gathering, this is, if you haven't been there before, this is the kind of people we have there. Hondo, can't thank you enough, by the way. And can't wait to see you again. But now let's get back to the potential of the war in Chicago. If this happens, and if these gangsters who think they're so tough because they got switches, and the mayor who thinks she's so hot because she's got salt trucks, wars start over things like this. Wars start. I mean, they build up and they build up and they build up. Civil wars, internal wars, and I think most people misunderstand what a civil war actually is. Doesn't mean there's two sides. It means there's all sorts of sides. There's this fragmentation like you can't believe. Look at the Russian Revolution and the Bolsheviks, how they came out on top. That's why what happened in our country in the 1860s was not a civil war, but a real civil war. And they've been building up to it for a long time. All these little things, racial things, religious things, right, left, all sorts of things. And I didn't want that. You don't want that. But we live in a world where that is happening. We have to be careful, right? And prepare ourselves to deal with it. But this could be one of the flashpoints. This could be a shot that's heard around the world. That when the National Guard shows up in Chicago. So I don't know what's going to happen, and I didn't come on here to claim that I do know what's going to happen. I came on here to tell you that this could happen, and that I'm going to be watching it with interest. And I would suggest that you prepare accordingly, and all that means is keep preparing. Okay? Keep preparing. Because a civil war could have all sorts of ramifications. But in particular, Make sure that you are good as far as your personal protection is concerned. Okay. If these things flash and you're caught in the middle of it, because if it flashes in Chicago, it doesn't mean that something's not going to erupt close to where you are. You may live out, hopefully you live out on the farm. Good, great place to be right now, many, many times. But if you have to go into the city for a medical appointment or something like that, um, be on your P's and Q's. Keep your head on straight. Keep your eyes open. Understand what's going on around you and have what it takes to defend yourself if you're caught up on this stuff. A lot of people out there, young girl gets on the train after work going home and gets stabbed in the neck by an animal. Okay. A college professor goes out to walk her dog, gets sliced up, killed, stabbed by an animal. Did you see that thing where that old guy was out in, I forget where it was, and that gang of hooded 15 or so people just go into his store, just trash it, beat the crap out of him. Guys, this violence is escalating, I think, faster than most people understand. And it can escalate right in front of you. And you'd better be ready to take care of it. Okay? All right. That's about all I wanted to say. I'm going to spend the next rest of this day, since it's raining, signing books and shipping out more books. Those of you who have been waiting on my books for a long time, they're coming. It'd be nice, won't it? For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, come back and catch. I don't have time. I'm not going to give the commercial for my books on this one. But I'll tell you about it next time. Okay? Be safe. Be ready. Be prepared. And that means being cognizant of what's going on in the world and in the world right around you. Okay? All right. October 4th. Look forward to seeing everybody. Go to the website, stonemont.us. Get registered. If you'd like to order a mug, do so on the website. And on the back, like it says, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Got the Bible action rifles, the signs of Stonemont, Semper Paratus, always ready, because you are not a prepper. You are a PMP, a preparedness-minded person. And on the sidebar, it reminds us of what's important in life: faith, family, friends. You all have a good day. Stay safe. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.